Okay, the last thing I wanted to do here is just wrap up this excuse me, Unit 8. The purpose of this unit was to learn a little bit about some organic chemistry, and so we took a close look at organic molecules. We recognized that they're carbon-based compounds, learned a little bit about how people talk about them, how they name them. We learned this concept of functional group and how the placement and the number and the types of functional groups gives functionality to the compound, and compounds fall into classification based on what functional groups they have. And then some basic chemical reactions. And recognize that there's certain reactions that people understand how it's going to go. If they put a particular functional group on a particular molecule, they know it will react with another particular molecule in a certain way. And in this way, the scientists can engineer functionality. And that means you can build essentially molecules to do the kind of job that you want them to do. And so we looked at polymers first, and it's basically a very simple process. A polymerization reaction is a repetitive, chemical change where we grow monomers into long strings of polymers, and we found that there's all different kinds of uses, and we kind of live in this age of plastics because we're able to engineer so many different types of plastics for so many different types of uses. We learned that because we can engineer molecules, and we've learned to identify the active sites and the binding sites of certain very important biomolecules, then we can make some really good medicine now using synthetic properties. A lot of it's modeled off of natural products, traditional herbal medicines, but only better. And then we learned a little bit about natural products in the context of herbal remedies, and the fact that it's just other specific organic molecules that have certain physiological functions that are mixed in with these various natural substances. And we learned the pros and cons. How you have to be a little bit careful with that. But yeah, well, I was going to tell you another story about Xanax and St. John's wort, but I'm not. And then the last thing we just talked about here was bad drugs, that people take advantage of other people to make money, and in the long run can cause a lot of problems for those people who've been taken advantage of. And so this is about education, and it's about common sense, and it's about critical thinking, and how to get the most out of your life by avoiding bad drugs. And so the bottom line here is I just want you to think about what you use, throw away, and consume critically. Now that you know a little bit more about organic molecules, we think about plastics, that they've really helped advance society. At the same time, because they're completely synthetic, there's no natural bugs to break them down in the environment. So you have to think about why you're using the plastic. Is it really necessary? Think about how you throw things away, to be as environmentally sensitive as possible, and think about what kinds of things you consume to make sure that you are keeping yourself as healthy as possible. And so speaking of that, the next unit, the last unit here, we're going to apply all this knowledge we've gained over the course of this year to nutrition, and see how some basic chemical common sense can help